Hi guys, I saw Tron Legacy last night, so I thought this morning I would kill two birds with one stone and do a review of the movie and of the soundtrack. Um, I'll do the review of the movie first and tell you what I think of it. I won't do any spoilers, so don't worry. Um, let's get to how the film looks. I mean, you've seen it on the trailers. It looks amazing, but to see it in 3D it's just fantastic. The 3D is not like gimmicky. It's not like let's point a sword at the screen and it feels like the sword's coming at you or anything. This is done in a style to make it, to give the whole Tron world depth, and it's done in a decent way. So like in the outside world it's 2D, and in the computer world it's 3D. The special effects are amazing. It's just a feast for the eyes, really. It's just a beautiful film to watch. I just want to address one special effect that might cause a bit of controversy, and that was the Jeff Bridges made to look younger special effects that were done. They were done by the guys that did Benjamin Button. They did a fairly good job in some respects. It looked good in certain scenes, but it looked terrible in others. Which is being a little bit unfair, because at the end of the day, I applaud them for doing that, for trying. You've not seen that kind of special effect on screen for so long, so you're going to get caught out. But they didn't shy away from doing it, and I think that needs, you have to respect that is done, because it's they pushed the envelope, they tried their best, they didn't quite get there with the realism effect, but it's going to pave the way for future movies. The effect is going to be refined, and pretty soon you're going to have you're going to see actors on screen who are of a certain age made to look much younger, and it's going to look really realistic. And I can't wait for that to happen. If you consider, like, a little while ago we had Terminator Salvation, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was on the screen for hardly, they could have hardly put him on screen for long. So at least this time they actually tried to make a character throughout the movie look young. The acting, the other actors, I mean, Jeff Bridges is great, and he's very zen-like. The main character, the guy, I forget his name, he was good. He was really good in it. Olivia Wilde, I really enjoyed. I thought she's a very pretty lady indeed. She was nice to look at, and she's a good actress, I think. And the guy that plays Tron is in it, and he hasn't. I mean, when you look at Jeff Bridges and then you look at him, he hasn't hardly aged. I mean, he's got grey hair, but just a few wrinkles on his face. And I just thought I wish they'd used him a bit more. Actually, I was a bit disappointed with the amount of time he was given. Which, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, I would have liked to have seen that actor used a bit more in the movie. When he finally goes into the Tron world, it kicks off with him being put straight into the games. He has to go into a disc fight, which is fantastic. The only criticism I would have of that is it didn't last long enough. I would have liked to have seen more disc fights in it, and once again you see light cycle fights as well. And sadly, that didn't last as long as I was hoping. Because it also seemed to stop for like an explanation and dialogue, and to explain the plot along. Everything seemed to stop still, which seems to happen a few times now in the latest action movies that I've seen, and it doesn't really need to. I mean, if you look at really great action movies like Terminator 2, you get explanation of dialogue and stuff, but it moves the plot along a little bit faster and pacier. That being said, though, the storyline is cliched in some ways, but in other ways I enjoyed it. I never found the dialogue hammy. I never found the acting hammy. I never found the acting terrible. I thought it was done really well. I thought it was pretty decent acting. And the soundtrack, which I'll talk about in a minute, is amazing. And the end scene with the final showdown is just edge of the seat stuff. It's a wonderful movie to see. I would definitely recommend it to everybody. you won't regret seeing Tron Legacy. It's fantastic. And the 2D stuff in the beginning is pretty good as well. There's some action scenes there as well. But which gets me on to the Tron Legacy soundtrack itself. I've got the special edition here. It's got an extra CD with it, and you can get some content which you need a internet connection for. This soundtrack is amazing. It took me ages to get this, thanks to the terrible performance of Royal Mail this Christmas. I don't think they've got really any excuses. A bit of snow doesn't stop other countries who have to deal with that all the time. But yeah, this looks absolutely fantastic cover. That it's got real like Tron effect on the front, and you've got like the identity discs inside. The music, I've been listening to it in the car today, and just wonderful soundtrack. And it's got, Daft Punk have really done what all great composers do. They sort of actually help the movie along. They actually help the movie, actually becomes an essential part of the movie. I really hope they win the Oscar for this, because I think more or less every track on here is great. Just opening up, as I said, there's got disc 1, which I think you get with all the standard editions, is the identity disc, and on disc 2 you've got another identity disc there, and you just get a few more tracks on there, and they're pretty decent. And I don't know if this is not in the standard edition, but you get a little booklet as well, with images of the film inside. What was I going to say? Yeah, the bonus stuff that you can get with the internet connection. You get like music videos, photo galleries, the movie trailers, which you can get anyway. On the second disc you get vehicles, behind the scenes, and the world of Tron, which is a nice thing to have. It's definitely a fantastic soundtrack. Going back to the movie, at the start you get what really amazed me is at the start, and I thought this was a really neat touch. You get the Disney sign come up, and it's all done in the Tron effect, which I thought was fantastic. I really like that. So I'm not sure how well the film's going to do. It was busy in the cinema, but it wasn't packed out. I was expecting it to be packed out, so hopefully people will go later on in this weekend. But I wholeheartedly recommend Tron. I thought it was fantastic. I'm probably going to go and see it again in a week's time, or just after Christmas. And that's my review of the film. I hope you enjoyed my recommendation. If I was going to give it a rating out of 5 stars, I would give it 4 stars. So I'll catch you later, guys.